G'day guys, Harvey back from JUMPSTRONGER.com, and today we're looking at the Nordic weight bench from TBG. This is a really cool product. Basically, this is the easiest way for you to learn how to do the Nordic hamstring curl and work your way through progressions. Historically, if you look at the Nordic hamstring curl, it's been extremely difficult to, not only is it difficult as an exercise to train, but it's very difficult to do regressions, right? So in the past, we've seen people use all sorts of elaborate setups, pretty creative stuff using, like, I saw one guy using mattresses to act as chest support, other people using like multiple barbells and resistance bands and all sorts of crazy setups just to give yourself enough eccentric hamstring stimulus during some sort of a Nordic regression. The reason the Nordic weight bench is so cool is because you don't need to use any of that stuff anymore to get the perfect Nordic hamstring workout in. The way the weight bench works is it's basically just a normal adjustable weight bench, except it's got an attachment on the front of it, which is where you lock your feet under, and essentially you just angle the bench exactly how you need it to give yourself enough chest support. And this allows you to do Nordics through the range of motion that you can actually do based on wherever you're at. Assembly for the Nordic weight bench is not too bad. No tools required whatsoever. So everything you need is in the box, as you saw in the video. That doesn't mean it's really easy to set up. And my Nordic weight bench was quite difficult, quite stiff, not very lubricated. So I kind of had to yank on it to get things exactly how I wanted them to set it up. Yeah, it took me a little bit longer than I would have liked to set up personally, but again, you don't need any tools, and you're probably going to be better at this than I am. I'm pretty useless, but it took me about 20 minutes overall. Again, that's probably about as long as it will take anyone to set up. The quality of the bench itself isn't the best. Okay, this is not a commercial gym bench, and TBG is pretty forthcoming about the fact that the quality isn't really it's not flimsy, but it's certainly not built for like a commercial gym environment where it's going to receive a high lot of traffic or volume on the bench. Okay, this is probably best for a fairly quiet home gym where it's just you using this thing, or you and a friend or something like this. I'm not going to lie, the quality of everything isn't fantastic, but I do think it will hold up for at least the foreseeable future. Yeah, it's kind of lightweight for a bench, but it's perfectly fine for just doing these exercises on. So I would like to see slightly better construction quality overall, but you have to decide whether you'd rather pay. Do you want to pay $500, $600 for this, or would you rather get it for half that price and sacrifice a little bit of rigidity or sturdiness? And personally, I think the $240 price point is really important for this product. Okay, Nordic benches are really expensive. All right, the cheapest full Nordic bench is $600 from Rogue. And so the fact that we do have an option on the market that is only $240 makes Nordic training way more accessible for all sorts of athletes, whatever their financial position is. So I do like the fact that they've said, look, we're happy to sort of sacrifice some quality here just to keep the price down, and I think it's pretty smart, to be honest. Personally, I am absolutely useless at Nordics. I'm 6'5" and very top heavy, and I'm not going to lie, I've just got pretty weak hamstrings by the looks. I can only do this to about one of the lower settings on the weight bench, the Nordic weight bench here. And this, to me, granted, I did a 2.5 hour leg workout 2 days ago, and I've got crazy DOMs at the moment, but I was still only able to get a pretty pathetic effort, if I'm honest. But that's the thing. Like I've been training for a lot of years now, and even I can only get to a pretty weak looking regression for this exercise. So like 95%, probably more like 99% of average sort of athletes will not be able to do a full Nordic, and they will need to be able to do some sort of regression work in order to get to that mastery level of Nordic. And the Nordic weight bench is the perfect solution for literally everyone. So you can use this a couple of ways. The best way to do it, I think, is to start with your chest on the bench, or you can start upright and you're basically just focusing on the eccentric. All right, so do whatever you like on the concentric, push yourself up to that upright position, and then really slowly focus on the eccentric until you reach the bench with your chest. You can either do this with your hands tucked behind your back, all right, which is probably the better way of doing it in terms of form, because it kind of activates your glutes a little bit more when you're doing it this way. Or you can just put your hands out in front of you, depending on whether you can actually do the concentric or not. So if you get all the way down and your chest touches a bench, you might not be able to then push yourself back up, sort of explode back upwards. And if that's the case, you just push yourself off the bench, get back into that starting position, and then work on the eccentric again. I just did out in the rain there 6 or 7 reps of this, and my hamstrings are absolutely blasted. Like, this thing is the craziest way to work out. This exercise is, there's nothing comes close to it in terms of hamstring development. Most hamstring exercises like leg curls have a very heavy focus on the concentric phase, whereas Nordics kind of separate themselves by putting a lot of force into the eccentric phase, which is why they're so difficult to do. They're kind of the opposite of what we're used to doing when we're training hamstrings. Perhaps the coolest thing about the Nordic weight bench is that it's cheap as well. This thing only costs $240 at the time of recording, which is very affordable compared to all sorts of other gym equipment. And if you're doing like Nordics regularly, or you want to be doing Nordics regularly, and I highly recommend you do, if you're any sort of athlete worth their salt, Nordics are amazing, and you need to be doing some sort of work on them, in my opinion. $240 for this weight bench is an absolute steal, not only because it completely solves the problem of Nordic regressions, but it can also be used as a regular weight bench as well. Like, you can just flip it around, put the backrest where you need it, and then just turn around and you can do your overhead shoulder press, incline bench. It's really, really good for trap 3 raises as well. So if you're following ATG, knees over toes stuff, you've seen the trap 3 raise, okay. Nordic weight bench is the perfect setup for this exercise. I also do have a 10% discount for the Nordic weight bench. So if you do want to get your hands on one of these, save yourself 10% using the discount code JUMPSTRONGER. I'll leave an affiliate link with that information in the description. But yeah, this thing is just like, it is the perfect solution to all your Nordic problems. Seriously, like, in the past, I haven't even done Nordics in the past because it's just too difficult to come up with a sort of setup that doesn't take 20 minutes to construct each workout. You can do glute ham raises all day long, but they're absolutely nothing compared to a Nordic. Okay, I can do 10 plus reps on the glute hand raise machine with perfect form, and as you can see, I can't even get close to like half of a Nordic. So the Nordic really is a whole nother beast, and the Nordic weight bench is the best possible way to really start taming that beast. So yeah, you can save an extra $24 when you use the discount code JUMPSTRONGER. I highly recommend this if you are an athlete of any sort. If you're doing jumping or running, which covers a whole lot of sports, basketball, volleyball, anyone wants to become more explosive or develop the knee flexion strength, there's simply no better exercise for overall athleticism than the Nordic. And we finally have a solution, folks. You can do the Nordic hamstring curl. You can train it really often, and it is now finally convenient to do so. So really grateful to TBG for making this product. I think it's, obviously I'm pretty keen on it. I think it's going to revolutionize how people train for this exercise. And yeah, great product overall. Very, very happy with everything. And yeah, highly recommend getting your hands on one, especially if you're doing any sort of ATG, knees over toes work.